Chapter 1 of the Pony Rider Boys in Montana. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. The Pony Rider Boys in Montana by Frank G. Patchin. Fitting out for the journey. Forsythe, announced the trainman in a loud voice. "That is where we get off, is it not?" asked Tad Butler. "Yes, this is the place," answered Professor Zepplin. "I don't see any place," objected Stacy Brown, peering from the car window. "Where is it?" "You'll see it in a minute," said Walter Perkins. "Chunky, we are too busy to bother answering all your silly questions. Why don't you get a railroad guide? Town's on the other side. It's one of those one-sided towns. Use your eyes more and your tongue less," added Ned Rector impatiently. With this injunction, Ned rose and began pulling his belongings from the rack over his head, which action was followed by the three other boys in the party. Professor Zepplin had already risen and was walking toward the car door. The Northern Pacific train on which they were riding came to a slow, noisy stop. From it alighted the four boys, sunburned, clear-eyed, and springy of step. They were clad in the regulation suit of the cowboy, the faded garments giving evidence of long service on the open plains. Accompanying the lad was a tall, athletic-looking man, his face deeply bronzed from exposure to wind, sun, and storm, his iron-gray beard standing out in strong contrast, giving his sunburned features a ferocious appearance that was not at all in keeping with a man's real nature. A man dressed in a neat business suit, but wearing a broad-brimmed sombrero, stepped up to the boys without the least hesitation the moment they reached the platform. "Are you the Pony Rider Boys?" he asked smilingly. "We are, sir," replied Tad, lifting his hat courteously. "Glad to know you, young man. I am Mr. Simms, the banker here. I was requested by Banker Perkins of Chillicothe, Missouri, to meet you young gentlemen. Funds for your use while here are deposited in my bank ready for your order. Where is Professor Zepplin? Yes, that's the name. This is he," Tad informed him, introducing the professor. "If you and the young men will come up to the bank, we will talk matters over. I would ask you to my house, but my family is spending the summer at my ranch out near Gracie Butte." "It is just as well," said the professor. "We are not exactly up here on a social mission. The boys are crowding all the time possible into their life during their vacation. I presume they are anxious to get started again." Leaving their baggage at the railroad station, the party set off up the street with the banker to make final arrangements for the journey to which they looked forward with keen anticipation. Readers of this series will remember how, in The Pony Rider Boys in the Rockies, the four lads set off on horseback to spend part of their summer vacation in the mountains. The readers will remember, too, the many thrilling experiences that the boys passed through on that eventful trip, between hunting big game in hand-to-hand conflict, fighting a real battle with the bad men of the mountains, and how in the end they discovered and took possession of the lost claim. Readers will also remember how the lads next joined in a cattle drive, and their adventures and their exciting trip across the plains in The Pony Rider Boys in Texas. It will be recalled that on this expedition they became cowboys in reality, living the life of the cattlemen, sharing their duties and their hardships, participating in wild, daring night rides, facing appalling storms, battling with swollen torrents, bravely facing many perils, and eventually Tad Butler and his companions solved the veiled riddle of the plains, thus bringing great happiness to others as well as keen satisfaction to themselves. After having completed their eventful trip in Texas, the boys had expressed a desire to next make a trip of exploration to the North Country.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?